Hello there. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Molly Madonia. I am the founder and president of the First Generation Professionals of Milwaukee here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Today, we have an amazing community leader interview for you, so let's get started. Dr. Tiffany Tardy is a powerhouse advocate for education and youth success in Milwaukee. Dr. Tardy holds a Bachelor of Science from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, an MBA from UW-Whitewater, and her doctorate in education from Alverno College. She has served as the managing director of program for one of FGPM's favorite community partners, All-In Milwaukee, as well as the director of the Grace Scholars Program at Mount Mary University in Milwaukee. Prior to her current role with Pearls for Teen Girls, Dr. Tardy has served as the executive director of the Milwaukee Public Schools Foundation, where she had an overall strategic and operational responsibility for all MPS students and staff. A Milwaukee native, Dr. Tardy joins us today to discuss her dedication to mission-centric service and the importance of uplifting our community's youth. Dr. Tardy, thank you for being with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always so fun to hear it's like weird hearing about yourself.
I know. And I compiled this bio from several different places. So you have a fantastic background. I'm so excited to be here with you today and learn more about your background and perspective and experience. And I really think our membership will take a lot of value from our time today. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh, and thank you for having me. I really am excited about the opportunity, and I really appreciate the work that you're doing as well. So it's going to be great.
Thank you so much. Okay. You are joining us today as the president and CEO of Pearls for Teen Girls, a fabulous Milwaukee organization with an incredible mission. Please tell us a little bit about Pearls, the young ladies you work with, and the services the organization provides.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I always introduce myself as the proud president of Pearls for Teen Girls because I love the work that we get to do. I have been with Pearls for almost 2 years now, and it has been such a transformative experience for me being able to work with an organization with a 32-year history plus, and the work that we get to do every day serving girls. So our mission is really about empowering the next generation of youth. So we work with girls and gender expansive youth, 5th grade to 12th grade, and really helping them develop those tools, navigating the different spaces that they're in and navigating what life looks like as a teenager. And I always like to ask the question, can you imagine what life looked like as a teenager for you? And I don't know if I want to be a teenage girl again, especially today. And that is truly the work of Pearls, is making sure that we are holding space for girls to really empower them, but then also provide them with the tools and resources to navigate all the things that come their way. So we have an evidence-based, pretty rooted in social-emotional learning curriculum that we work with girls, as well as our leadership compass, where we have multiple compass points, healthy relationships, loving myself, those different leadership, those types of things to help really instill in those girls and walk alongside them on their journey as they are, navigating life as teenagers, but then preparing for their professional lives and whatever it is that they want to do. We want to be a part of that journey and experience for them, which is why I love Pearls, because we don't say that we have the answers for girls. We don't tell them what to do. Our programming is 100% voluntary. Our work is by girls for girls. Our Pearls values actually started. So Pearls is an acronym, and many people don't know this. And our values started with the first group of girls over 30 years ago. They created the Pearls acronym. They created our Pearls Promise that we use every single meeting, every single day that we bring our team and our girls together to help us remember those values and what we stand for and how we want to show up, right, as we're navigating all the things ahead for us. And so really thinking about personal responsibility, empathy, all those different things that build character, and those values and attributes that we stand for was designed by our girls. And that's how we try to show up in our work every single day.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. A 30+ year tenure is incredible. Mm-hmm. Wow. Congratulations to Pearls. Wow. That's unbelievable.
Yes, I'm so proud and privileged to do this work. And our founder, Colleen Fitzgerald, is still connected with the work today. And even when I started a couple of years ago, she came back to help support in my transition. One of our former CEOs came back to help with my transition. Like, there's such love and commitment from the leadership of Pearls, from our board to our community members to the former staff and girls that we've served. What it tells you that there's something truly special and unique about the work that we do, that that people still, years later, still want to be connected and engage with that work. So it makes me really excited to be able to do it every single day, knowing that that what we are doing is something that is meaningful and transforming lives.
Well, speaking of legacy and impact of the organization, according to the 2023-2024 annual report, which you have available on your website, I encourage anyone watching this to go check out the Pearls annual report. It's full of mission-centric data and really talks about what Pearls is doing in the community and who they're serving. So everyone go check out the annual report from Pearls. But Pearls impacted 860 girls. 98% of the girls would recommend Pearls to a friend, and 95% of girls would return to Pearls. These are incredible numbers. What does this impact mean to you?
I mean, it's exciting to hear, and it means everything to me. And I hope that it means everything to the community around us, because it tells you that Pearls has value. And again, when we're talking about the voices of our girls, and that's why we like to include those pieces of data, because there's other things too that we can talk about. Our, high school graduation rates, like those types of things are important, of course. But to hear from actual girls that they would recommend Pearls and that they would return to Pearls means that there's something that we're doing that's working. It means that there's value that they're seeing in this, and that that's something that they want to be a part of. And so that's meaningful for me. Like, just to know that our girls feel that support that we are trying to do, give every single day. But then I also think that we are, again, bigger than the numbers, because it's also about the stories of these girls. And when you're able to witness the transformation as they experience Pearls year after year, and you see those small things of developing confidence, being able to public speak when it was something that they would never do, coming out of their shell, building peer relationships, navigating, difficult conversations or situations. Those are the stories that tell you that that's what I believe. So our gala is coming up this week, and the theme for this gala is the butterfly effect of acknowledging these small things that can have such, lead to such huge impact. And that's what transformation is. And that's how I see transformation in the voices and experiences of these girls, where it's like they can come to Pearls and feel like they have space and safety and support with our professional staff members, with our team staff members. That's another thing too. We have this intergenerational model, which I love, because we're working with girls where they are, and we're providing the staffing to work with them where they are. So we have teenage girls who are high schoolers who are working with our middle school girls. So making sure that they are having that peer adjacent support, as well as younger professionals that are working with them. Because what I know today as an almost 40-year-old is not what our girls are experiencing today. So we want to have staff that are really closer, and help, and able to help them navigate the things that they're going through. And that's, I think, again, that's just what it's all about. And so the impact for me just speaks volumes to, again, the model, the legacy, the work. And then also, as a new leader of this organization, also it tells me about what's possible. And I think that there's a whole lot of opportunity for Pearls to grow, to serve even more girls, to be across the Milwaukee community and greater, to be able, we know how important this work is, and then we also know how valuable it is. So it just gives me the power, or the drive and the desire to do more.
So within your work with the Pearls girls, are you seeing girls who have perhaps gotten their value from the program and perhaps aged out of the program coming back to support the current Pearls girls in a sustainable legacy type of direct impact?
Oh my gosh, yes. And that is also one of the cool things about Pearls is so many of our professional staff members are actually former Pearls girls. So to actually, go through that curriculum, see the value, and then say, wow, for many of them, Pearls is their first job. And so there's also opportunity for us to then continue to help develop, grow, and continue that legacy of Pearls. And one of our sayings is once a Pearls girl, always a Pearls girl. So we have an alumni network of over 12,000 girls at this point, who are here in Milwaukee, across the country, doing incredible things. And I think that speaks back to the impact as well of like, one of the things I continue to say is that Pearls can be transformative and that Pearls is a part of building the future leaders of our city. And you see so many former Pearls girls who are out doing, incredible things, entrepreneurs, lawyers, doctors in the business world. So there's so much value add to our city and to our country. And then you also get excited when you run into families, moms or dads of like, oh my gosh, like my daughter was a part of this, or, they were a part of this and I love Pearls and, you all saved us. Like, I didn't know what to do, but I knew I had Pearls. And so there is that desire for those girls or our former girls, our alumni, to give back. And so we see them either coming back and working for the organization or volunteering for the organization. We do have a coach program, in which case we do that one-to-one mentoring. And so you've had Pearls alumni that come back then and mentor girls. And then we really, in my tenure, are really trying to do more and invest more in our alumni. So we inaugurated, I think that's the right term, an award at our gala last year called the Chrysalis Award. So hence the butterfly effect this year. And so this will be our second year honoring a Pearls alumni for, one, for what they have gained from Pearls, but then also the work that they're doing in the community now to continue to honor the values of Pearls. And so that award is a $1,500 educational or career gift to those girls to continue the work that they're doing within the community. And it's also an acknowledgement from Pearls that our investment, we want our investment to go well beyond those teenage years for them, that they're part of this ecosystem of support forever, right? Once a Pearls girl, always a Pearls girl.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. I love that work. And just the legacy of that will be seen for generations. So that's just incredible of your mission. As you mentioned, Pearls offers one-on-one coaching by connecting a community professional coach with a Pearls member, a Pearls girl. I love that. Pearls girls. I love that so much. To help guide her in the next phase of her life. We talked a lot about that direct mentorship piece. Similarly, first generation professionals of Milwaukee, FGPM connects a first generation college student or a young professional with a first generation established professional through our formal mentorship program to help with things like career development, soft skills, and networking. How have you seen, or tell us just maybe one or two examples of the impact of the mentorship piece of your work with Pearls?
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, I just reviewed all of these Chrysalis Award applicants over the last couple of weeks, and there's always a number of alum that will come back and talk about the mentor that they had or the mentor that they still have. Many of our girls will start working with the mentor in middle or high school and are still connected with them to this day. And so you hear examples and stories of like, working with this person is how I got connected to my career choice, or they helped open this door for me, or I've had mentors who've, helped us, girls transition to college and like literally drive them over to Minnesota to unpack, to move into their dorms and get all set up with college. Just the power of mentorship and trusted adults is just insane, right? Because really, I think that the value is that we meet whatever those needs are, and however we can support somebody is what we want to try to do, which is why I love our mentorship and the coach program, because it does allow for, like right now with our groups, they're meeting with peer groups and they have the professional staff member where they can get some one-on-one support. But with this coach program, they really do have that mentor that's walking alongside them, one-on-one, supporting whatever those needs look like. Even our founder, Colleen, will share stories of some of the Pearls girls that, you know, she worked with over 30 years ago that she's still working with today. She'll be bringing a number of them to the gala with her this week, Thursday, which is super exciting because, again, when you're talking about building authentic relationships, like that transcends time, you know, and I think it can grow and evolve over time. But we've seen that so many times with our Pearls girls and their coaches, and our coaches love being able to, you know, support girls in this way and feel like that's such a cool way to be able to give back to their community and to just, you know, show up for those girls in the way that they need them, and they build relationships with their families and, you know, etc. It's a really, really cool thing.
Even just knowing that someone is willing to give you their time, just their time, like, hey, I see you, I see what you're trying to do, I care about you and your development, can really be the difference in like the direction that a young woman's life goes in. So that's unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, right? Like, I mean, we always say that, like, yes, like we of course want to continue to serve more girls and we want to continue to get more folks to invest financially, but there's so much more meaning that comes from that, you know, gift of time and knowing how busy everybody is, but to, you know, want to be able to devote that time, or the fact that, like, just being accessible for a text message or a call when somebody is in, you know, dealing with something can be huge, right? Again, those small things can make really major impact. And so I'm really, really grateful for people, the folks who have chosen to come alongside with us and invest that time in our girls.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Switching gears ever so gently. I know the impact has made an incredible, or mentorship has made an incredible impact on my life. What does mentorship mean to you?
Oh, I could spend an entire session with you on mentorship.
A whole other interview. That's part two.
That's a whole another interview because of how much I believe in mentorship, how much I have studied mentorship, and how much I've experienced mentorship. For me, it means everything. I know that there are moments in time throughout my life where major decisions had to be made, that I was able to have the support of mentors since I was a young girl, that I know I would not be where I am today if I did not have that level of support. And I think about it on so many different levels, right? Where it's like, personally, mentorship has been everything for me, which is why I have also been so committed to offering that to as many young girls, women, professionals. It's not just, you know, girls that I've worked with. I try to show up and support in every way possible because of how much, you know, I have relied and been supported by mentors. Like, legitimately, one of my closest mentors, as I was working on finishing my doctorate, met with me every Saturday morning until I finished, you know, and he did not have to do that. And that is the time that we were talking about, right? That he invested in me because he knew what was possible. And that's what I think is so powerful about mentorship, is because people see things in you that you may not see in yourself yet. And being able to be validated and supported and empowered, like, that can lead to so many you know, fruitful gifts in our lives. So I am just super grateful for it. And then from a scholarship perspective, there's so much. Also, I have obviously an education background, and so there's so much research that talks about the power of mentorship and having you know, those mentors available, particularly for first generation students, particularly for underrepresented students, where you may not have certain capital, right, from growing up. But a mentor can help you navigate and build those types of capital. And so I've been able to, you know, see it from all of those perspectives. And, like, actually, that's what the literature is saying. But then I've also lived it, you know, out loud and see how powerful it is. So mentorship means everything to me.
Everything.
Yes.
Oh my God. No, I'm nodding so vigorously because I'm totally agreeing with everything you're saying, and it really does change lives and is that important. And I love that you touched on the data-driven part of it as well, with the literature and the writing and the research. When we founded our mentorship program, we relied a lot on that same literature that showed that first-generation professionals thrive better in a more structured environment, because it's one less thing for them to one less puzzle piece for them to independently have to put together. So even just providing a little bit of structure, the access, the opportunity, people will take the opportunities that you are giving to them. So it's wonderful to hear that reflected also in your work and what you're saying right now as well.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And one of the things that I continue to say throughout all of my years of working and leading and managing is that you can't, and also working with students back when I was in the educational space, is that you cannot assume that people know. And if we just like take it like that simple, that basic concept of like just plan to teach, to inform, to guide, because we can't assume that our students or our young professionals, first gen professionals, are coming in with the same experiences or knowledge base that some others, you know, who do have generations of capital and knowledge that we do not have. And I think being a first generation graduate myself, again, I know that firsthand. And so just the simplest things for some, it will be simple for others too when they know, right? Like, so let's just work to make sure that we know the things, and instead of, I think, making it seem like people, oh, they're not good enough or they're not prepared, versus understanding that actually there are some systemic barriers and gaps here that have, you know, led us to this place. And so what is our work then to help build the access, build those spaces, help, you know, folks learn, grow, and develop. And then the sky is the limit, you know. I mean, I'm a literal example of that. So
same.
I love that for us.
I love that for us too. I love that for us too.